What's up everyone? Today we have a special video because we're starting an RPG series. In this video I just want to go over an RPG that I made a while ago and go over all the systems within the game. In this series we're going to focus on two things: creating RPG systems along with creating tools that will make developing your game much easier. Creating your tools, in my opinion, is mandatory when it comes to making RPGs. So hopefully by the end of this series, you'll have all the tools necessary in order to create your very own fully fledged RPG. Alright, so here's our game, and I'm just going to get right into it. And while I play, I'm just going to go over all the systems that you're going to see in the game. And so here we have a dialog system, but I've already done a dialog system that you can go and watch on my YouTube channel. And it's already done from start to finish, so you can go look at that. Alright, so let's look at our systems here. We can mouse over an object or mouse over an item, and if it's gatherable, it's going to change the cursor. See, the cursor changes to a little hand icon. And so if we right click it, we'll gather it, and we'll have a little cast bar above its head, so it lets us know that we're how long it takes to gather that item. And we look for inventory, we see that we have 3 twigs here. And we can click on the little X marker to drop the item, and we can pick them back up, and we'll have our 3 twigs again. And see the items can stack up to however much you want. So our next system we have here is our quest system. So we can right click on this object, or this little fire guy. It's going to show us this special icon for our mouse. It's going to turn into a little speech bubble to let us know that we can talk to him. And then it's going to pop up with a quest, and it's just going to have the icon of the NPC. It's going to have the name of the quest up here. It's going to have a description, and they have rewards. So this one doesn't have any item reward, but usually there'd be an item here, but because there's no item reward, it's going to be blank. And then we get 1 coin, then we get 100 experience. Then we can hit accept. It's going to play a little sound. Now we can look into our quest log, and we can click on this, and we can see that we have a quest. It says we have the quest name here, we have a description, we have the requirements or things you need to collect here, and then we have the rewards here. And because it's the main quest, it's going to be in our main quest area. Right, so we need to collect a sword, but and it tells us that we need to craft a sword by pressing C. Press C, it's going to go over to our crafting menu, but we can just like click over here if we want to. And so you see here we have a wooden sword. If I click on it, it's going to show us a description of the sword, the name, and the icon, and then the ingredients it needs to make the sword. So you see here that the first number is green. If it's green, then it means that we can craft it. So pretty much if it's greater than the required amount, it's going to turn green. If it's less than, it's going to turn red. So let's just go ahead and craft. So when we craft it, a little bar will appear, and this is just like a little mini game for your crafting system if you want this. But you press space when the line is inside the green area, and it's going to strike. And then if you do it correctly, you get the item. And see here that we have no more twigs because we crafted the item and took up all our twigs. So now it's red. And so now we go to our items, and we have a wooden sword. So because we upgraded the item, because we struck it correctly, it's now a rare item. So now you know it's rare because it's blue, or the name is blue, and it does a little extra damage. So now, same thing, we have the name, the icon, description, but this one has damage, and it's an equipment, and stamina and armor. So now that we completed the quest, the exclamation point turned into a question mark, letting us know that we completed the quest requirements. Alright, so for our next quest, we need to slay the vine barrier and Puffy. So we need to equip our sword that we just made. So we can left click it and it'll equip the sword. You can see it there now. Now we can actually attack. So we can hit left click to attack. And you see that when we killed the vine barrier, it popped up and showed us that we completed that requirement. So we go to our quest log and it says 1 out of 1 slain. So we need to create this axe. So notice that this axe wasn't here before. Because we leveled up, we got access to create an axe. So you can have a bunch of craftable items dependent on your level, or maybe a quest. A secret quest can give you a special craftable item in your RPG. There's endless possibilities. So let's see what we need. Need some twigs. So we need some more twigs. Need some more twigs. So we have enough twigs. We can hit the craft button. See how it goes really fast because this is a harder item to create. And we did it. Alright, so we have our axe there. Now that we have our axe, we can, it's a tool, so it's a special item. It allows us to chop down trees now. Chop down trees. And let's see, we need to collect some wood. So we collect some wood here. You see it pop up. And there you go. The first night is completed. That's the quest name. And you see when we turn the quest, this treehouse turned into a completed house. So we can have things happen in game, or special logic that happens whenever we complete a quest. And you also see how, I forgot to mention this was click to move, but in our RPG we're probably going to do WSAD to move, because that's just how most people would probably want it. And you see now that it's nighttime, these little fireflies come out, so you can have special things that happen at night. So this game will have our RPG will have a day and night cycle. And you can have special events that happen during the night. Maybe a secret monster comes out, or maybe a quest or an NPC only comes out during the nighttime. Stuff like that. So we're gonna go back to our homeworld, and so whenever you enter a new area or a significant area, and also you see this little red exclamation point saying that we got a new ability. We have abilities in this game, and we have two. One is Reap, one is Shadow Star, and we'll just learn this one. Now if I press Q, I do a little spinny thing, and we use that to kill this guy. We have the cooking system, as you see here. We can put items inside our pot. So this is a bunch of junk item though, so it's not going to create something good, but we can cook it. And then we can get this gloop thing. So you can put any 3 items into the cooking pot and it's going to make something. It's very similar to like Breath of the Wild, where you can put a bunch of items in a pot and create something. But because I put a bunch of junk in there, it didn't create anything good. So we're gonna gather some carrots here, and we're gonna put a stick in and 2 carrots, and it should make something actually good. We got 2 carrots on a stick. Alright, so now that I've gone over the systems in the game, let me go over the tools that I used to create this game. So let's start with the item tools. So I go to Window and go to Items, so then I have a bunch of different items I can create here. And let's go to Crafting. Actually, let's make a consumable. How about that? Alright, so we can make the consumable name here. We'll just call it Test. And then we can enter description, call it 123. It's going to sell for 1,000 gold. And it's going to heal for 100. And it's going to be a legendary. And it'll be a food buff. And then you can set buffs here. So I have 4 preset buffs. But let me show you how I create buffs. So I can go to create buff, and then I can name whatever I want. Let's keep it with buff. And then I can make the name of it, the description, its duration. I can set an icon for it, and I can modify the stats, so I can give 15, and then you can give attack, defense, or experience. So that's our that's our buffs, and now we can put a icon for it. We'll just give it a tag icon. And then you create consumable, and it's going to create it, and it's going to put it in my consumable folder, and then it will ping it, and so we can see our item here. We can modify this item whatever we want. So I'm going to close that, and then I'm going to delete this because I don't want this here. And let's go over our crafting system now. Let's go over our crafting system. I'm going to show you how easy it is to modify all these different values that I have. And so let's go over to our recipes, and then we're going to have our wooden sword recipe. Alright, so you see here we have the result item. So this is the item that's going to make if we complete the crafting. And this is the leniency amount. So this is referring to the bar that pops up when we craft. This is how big the green part will be. So it can be really small, we can make it really big. And then if we set it to max, it's going to cover the whole thing. And if we set it to 1, it's going to be really small. So let's make it really big. And then this is the crafting speed. So this is how fast the little bar moves from left to right. So being really slow or really fast, we'll make it super fast actually. Yeah, we're gonna make it really fast. And then we have the amount of times we need to hit in order to create the item. So we can make it, we'll not make it that much. We'll make it like 5. And then now we have the recipe list. So right now our wooden sword only needs 3 twigs, but I could make this like really long, and we can have a bunch of different ingredients. So we could need like a copper ore, and we'll need like 100 of these and make a plant hearts. You can have wood stacks. You can have we already had copper. Carrots? Yeah, sure, we'll put carrots in there. We'll need a different amount for all of them. And if hit play game, and it's gonna need all of these different ingredients. And you see how it updated all of them and had their own icon and name, and then how much they need. So this is how easy it is to create new recipes and whatnot. But we don't have all those items, so I'm just gonna reset it back, and I'm gonna show you how easy it is to adjust the leniency amount and crafting speed. So remember, we set this to 1200, and we set this to 134 to the leniency amount, and then the hit amount to 5. So let's go and create our item. So we only need 3 twigs. So now we can create our item. You see how it's super fast, and then this green bar is huge, taking up the whole thing. I basically can't even miss. If I miss, I'm going to be pretty embarrassed. Let's see, I need to hit 5 times. Got 1, 2, oh, we failed. Oh. Well, anyways, so we didn't upgrade our item, unfortunately, but oh well. That shows you how easy it is to adjust the leniency amount, the crafting speed, and the amount of hits it takes. Alright, the next thing I want to show you is the cooking recipes. So I showed you before how you needed 3 items to create any item in the game. Well, how do we get those items exactly? Or how do we get these recipes? And so I have a resource folder full of recipes. And so I can right click and create a new recipe and create a cooking recipe. We'll call this test. And so this is going to be the result item. It's going to need, for this game specifically, there's only 3 crafting items it can take. It can take no more than 3 or no less than 3 for this game specifically, but in our RPG, I'm going to make it very versatile, so you're going to have as many as you want. So here we can just click on there, and it's going to accept any consumable, so we can make a carrot on a stick or whatever. No, we'll create a new consumable. So So we can go to create consumable. Create consumable. And I'll ping it, and then we can get this out of here. And okay, so now we're gonna go back to our test, and then we're gonna go click here, and it should pop up test 1, 2, 3. Alright, so how do we create test 1, 2, 3? Let's say we need a bunch of plant hearts. Let's say we need 3 plant hearts. At the start of the game, it's going to load all these into our recipe list. And I'm just going to go ahead and cheat a little bit and go to my testing and add, what's that, plant heart? Alright, so go over to our inventory, and we're going to find add item, add 3 plant hearts to our item or inventory. And then we're going to cook 3 plant hearts. And let's see what we get. And voila, we get our test item. And we can, so this is actually a consumable, because we're using this icon. It doesn't seem that way. You can see that it's a consumable type here, and it's a legendary, so the name of it is actually yellow now. And if we use it, we should get a buff, and we do. We get a little strength buff. And so that's how we create recipes, and how easy it is to just create a recipe for your cooking, and it's just going to be in the game instantly. Alright guys, so let's end the video. I'd like to thank my patrons, Bay, Emerson, Kirijo, Polybius, and Yoan. Thanks for being my Patreon. You can be a patron too if you go to my Patron page, patreon.com/devbird. There you can become a patron and send me messages and I'll reply. So used to be that you need to be a patron to get into my Discord, but I decided to just make it open to everyone. So I have a link in the description. And so just join Discord, and that's about it. See you guys later.